I was using in one of my projects this npm package called Browserify, and what this does is, if you have like an index file, for example, and you have dependencies in this file, whatever you're using, for example, I'm using this one, what you can do is so for example, if you want to run this code on the locally, not on the server, so if you want to use node npm packages but you want to use them as a static site, what you can do is use Browserify, and all of the dependencies that you have will be bundled into a single file. So I was using this, and I was actually, it works great. It's I like it. But then I ran into some problem. I was like beginning to make it more efficient, like my code and like my build setup. I was trying to make it more efficient, and I was thinking about like making like a separate build folder. So instead of like having everything in root and then putting the whole root package on the server, I would just make like a separate build folder that has all of the resources, all of the JS, all of the HTML that the client who is using this website will be accessing this certain folder, instead of the root, which has everything like package.js, JSON. I don't want to give this away, or like why would you have them on the server? So the Browserify, I don't think, has an option where you can the problem that you run into is that when you move these files to the build folder, I was trying to do it in the package.json, and like I was thinking about like making these commands like separate commands and running like these, like chaining these commands. Like I would copy these images, and I would copy the index, and I would copy I don't know what else I need, and then I would like make the Browserify command. I would bundle it, and then I would like minify the bundled file, and I would like end up with a JS file which is like really small. So I'm gonna show you like this, like all of the white space is removed, like everything is like looks ugly. But this saves actually quite a lot of space, so it will be faster for the client to access this than to access a file which is not minified. But the issue is that if I start copying these, and I have in my code, let's say I go to index file, and I have a script which has a source. So this will be pointing to the root and not the build folder, and so will all of the images. I have some images in here, so all of these will be pointing to the root as well, and like, so that's a problem. And I was thinking like maybe I can use some npm package to change this, like to change it so that every time I build this project, it will change the text inside of this. And then I was like, I don't really know, it's getting kind of messy, getting kind of like I don't know, kind of too complicated. Maybe somebody has had the same similar issue, and obviously they have had a similar issue, but I try not to use like dependencies. But anyway, I was looking at Webpack, and I was going through the documentation, which is great actually. I really like their documentation. The Webpack actually does same kind of things that Browserify does, but this again, I'm guessing that this does a lot more. So it does the same thing that you can like build your assets like into like you can bundle them into like single file, for example, in the same case that I had the JS file. And they have a great documentation, and I was going through it, and I was reading this this npx. Let me see. So the npx command, which ships with Node, runs the Webpack binary. I don't know what this is. Maybe I can see it from somewhere. I don't know what this actually does, but this is the command you run. Same thing like when you use Browserify, you run the Browserify and it will create you the statics, the bundled file. So same thing with Webpack is that you use this and it will build you like a bundled file, and you have this maybe I can, what's this warning? Oh, okay. So you have this maybe I can find it. Yeah, this config file you create, and you would put all of your files here. So for example, you can put your images in here, I would assume, and you can put your like I don't know, JS files in here, and you would determine what is the output, and it will, I don't know, somehow automatically do all of the correct things to make it work. So anyway, I was going through this documentation, and I was like reading, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty good, why I'm not using this, I should use it. And then I come into this in here, warning: do not compile untrusted code with Webpack. It could lead to execution of malicious code on your computer, remote servers, or in the web browsers of the end users of your application. So I'm like, that's weird. That's a warning, but that's all you give to me. There's nothing else. If you want to learn more, blah, 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 blah. So there's nothing else given you in here. So I was kind of curious, what is this? What does this mean? So I googled this, and I found a Stack Overflow Stack Overflow question about this, like, why does Webpack, and then some guy is answering this: a script that is being webpacked, so any dependency you have on your project that is being bundled with Webpack, so you use the Webpack command, so any script that is being webpacked can run code when it is packed, and this is by design. So, and the way that they do it is to abuse the magic comments feature documented here. So I found this, and there's another way as well. So I found this GitHub which explains it better. So in here it's this is the magic comment. So you have like an import, and then inside of import you have some code that is commented, and then you have the thing you're importing. And what's crazy about this, that since you're running in Node, like Node environment, you can actually access the file system. So in here it's this code is using fs, which is required in here. I think it's the file system, and he is reading from a user's like file system, and then what he's doing is he is sending a HTTP request to some server. So okay, in this case it's localhost, but I mean you can put anything in here. So you could read somebody's like sensitive information, or go through their PC and read like all of these things that you try to find, and you could send the request to your server, and I mean, and you wouldn't know about this because this could be inside of a dependency, like dependencies have dependencies, and they have dependencies, and they have dependencies. So you have this chain of dependencies, and any one of them could have this, and you wouldn't even know about this. And the worst thing is that even if you don't have any exploits right now in your dependencies, you could have them in the future when you have to upgrade your npm packages. So, or maybe I'm wrong, maybe I misunderstood this. If I did, then I'm sorry, but like this is how I understood this, that this is actually how it works, and this is pretty crazy that